Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. At CloudFoundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Before we jump on to this HL7 version 2 session, let's have a small recap on what we learned till now. Aram, can you go ahead and tell me whatever things we have learned till now? First, we understand how interoperability works. How, like in the healthcare system, how it works? Like it has the ability to exchange data between different healthcare systems. However, it facilitates with the different frameworks. We have HL7 V2, HL7 V3 and FHIR, which is a modern framework. And in HIV, different types, DSTU1, DSTU2, R1, R3 and R4, R5. And after that, we understand the PHI. What is PHI and what is about HE, Health Information Exchange, which is and after that we come to the basic understanding of Python. And we understand how syntax works and list tuple and different types of we have learned about the data operators. Exactly. For loop and while loop. Yes, a string, ask string, yes. Then we understand about REST APIs, how the API works. Yes, in REST APIs we learned about CRUD operations, what are our HTTP works. Yes, we also had a demo script on the CRUD operation, basically to visualize how things are working. Yes, and we also learned about types of HSN, that is HL7 V2, HSN V3, HL7 FHIR. We also saw the booming job, CDA and CSD. Both are the document architecture basically. Like before we move ahead, Ram, do you guys have any doubt in the previous lectures or previous things? Like, did you try watching the videos recordings or maybe practice something on your own and you are having some doubt? We are getting less time to practice, as you know, regarding our types. We have tried our best from our side. We are able to understand the things, but like writing the code and the indentation part, I think it takes time. Yes, definitely. However, you have pitched all these topics very. We are able to understand the theoretical part when we are trying to apply the things which we have said. Definitely it takes time. It takes a lot of practice. Yes, definitely. That I can say for sure that you guys are trying your best instead of having that tight schedule. Whatever assignment I give, at least you try to cope up with the things that I can surely say about this. Exactly. The things will take time. The pieces will fall into their faces. Meanwhile, just keep practicing. Whenever you get time, whenever you have some spare time, or let's say you are not doing anything, literally not having some sleep or something, practice these things. As I always say, first initial days will be tough. The war will be tough, but eventually the result will be joyful. Once you practice, you have a greater knowledge. You can crack the interviews. Now the tech interviews. Once we are done with this HL7 version 2 session, we will start with a deeper understanding of HL7 FHIR and its resources. After 2 or 3 sessions, maybe you try to within yourself, you are 2 members. Within yourself, try to ask some interview questions. Just go onto internet and type top 100 FHIR interview questions. Once you have deeper understanding, ask a bunch of questions to each other. And whatever questions you are having or facing doubt in, bring it up to me. We will clear that out. But after 2-3 sessions, this will help you practice of interview, like how interview questions are and basically what questions are being asked. You will find whatever I had to teach you, you will find the related stuff in the interview questions itself. When we are looking at job profile, different job openings have different requirements and they are asking for different skills. Skill set can differ. But the main thing is, let's say, if a company is using tech stack as FHIR and also they are using ET, then an ET will be different because ET is a programming language. That's fine. Then the company, they give you the JD like that only. Because you know what their tech stack is in ET and you and we are practicing Python now. But then ET and Python both will have a common base, a basic understanding. The logic building will be same. Whenever you apply, also what I will say is modify your resume a bit. Every time, you cannot apply with the same resume to other jobs. If someone is asking ET and you have an understanding of Python, add Python as well along with an ET. Because at the end, the company will judge you on your FHIR skills and your HL7 skills. And they can consider the programming language because you know what programming language can be learned at later stages. That is totally fine. It will hardly take you around a 1 week or a 2 week to learn programming language. That's it. Because you already have the basic logical building of how a language works. Learning will not take time. Almost 1.5 week will. Let's say 2 weeks it will take to learn you any new programming language, the syntax and all. That's fine. Every time, whenever you apply, modify your resume, tweak it a little bit. And what I would say is try to grab a consultant role. Or let's say a role which is of a limited period. Because why I'm saying this? Because they pay a hefty amount. Let's say if in a job role you are requiring to work for 1 year on a contract basis. Go for it. They will pay you 20-25 lakhs per annum and that too they will pay to you directly. That is good enough. As a consultant role, that is good enough. And you're in within 1 year. If you are earning 20-25, save it from that money and then later on apply to the jobs which you really prefer to. And at the other jobs will be almost paying you 20-25. That is fine. But you will gain a knowledge basically while working in the consultant job on a contract role. One of my known, he does this only. He does not go for a full-time job. He grabs contract role jobs. In that they pay him hefty. Within a contract role job, you can either do that job and along with that you can also work on a side hustle. That the job gives him that flexibility. There are plenty of, if I'm saying plenty of, there are really plenty of contract role jobs for HL7 in healthcare. Try to grab a few of them. Getting my point? Let us go on, please. Like we haven't worked on any project. Ask any project related questions. How can we tackle? We will work on project. We have others. I'm not sure if I informed you earlier. We will be working on a project from scratch. I will be helping you create a smart on FHIR application from scratch. And that project you will demo it into your resume because that you will be building. I will be guiding you. I will be guiding you. You will be building that. That project definitely you can include in your resume and whatever projects they will ask you. The project which we will be working on, that is well sufficient enough. That's fine. And somewhat you have to sugarcoat things at first because we are almost from healthcare industry. That's fine, but we are not from a tech one. We need to sugarcoat some things. Initially, we have to do that. But our plus point is we are already from healthcare industry. They will not go into the depth of it and they can consider it. The knowledge is important. Well, I'm again telling you guys, the knowledge is important. Everything can be learned later on. When you will crack interviews, you will have plenty of time to go ahead and learn the text which was mentioned in the JD. Yes, then that's totally fine. Today's agenda will be within this session. We will try to cover the introduction to H7v2. Send the book. Why do we use H7v2 and how H7v2 messages are transmitted? We will also learn about HL7v2 standards and different versions of H7v2. Do not get confused in different versions of H7v2. There are different versions. First of all, the different versions of LSEN, that is XL2DH7VV3, CDA, CCDA, FHIR. There are different versions of TILSET FHIR, that is DHTU, DHTU3, R4, R4, Beta, R5. Also, there are different versions of H7v2, that is 2.1.29. HL7 HL7 version 2.2 version 3 to 2.9. And we will also learn about the message structure. How messages are treated in H7v2. How we transmit H7v2 message again. And what special characters are used while sending the message. How we treat the message. And the key segments and fields we will learn about. And also we will see some of the implementation and use cases of H7v2. Moving ahead to the objectives. The main objective of H7v2 is basically, let's say you are work. Before we go on to the main objective, tell me one thing in your system, that is in your organization. Have you dealt with HL7 version to message anywhere? That is fine. Basically, HL7v2 message is triggered from system to system. Let's say there is an hospital. And you also know the terminologies. A hospital is called a practice. Let's say there is a for our understanding. I will say a hospital for now, but just keep in mind that a hospital is a practice or a provider. Practice is the location where you are treated and provider is the hospital, the organization. Let's say there is a hospital. In that hospital, there is a BP machine XYZ. That machine is responsible for getting your blood pressure, like recording your blood pressure. Now you are the patient. You went to a different hospital. Let's say not hospital within that hospital. You went to a different section. Let's say cardiologist section. This cardiologist section and the BP machine which is kept in the laboratory, they need some connection. To get the data transferred basically between them, that the doctor can know that this is your blood pressure and he can basically evaluate on that thing. Let's say you went to a hospital for a heart stroke. And you went to a cardiologist in the hospital. That cardiologist suggested you to first do a blood pressure check. He told you that a blood pressure check will be done in this section of the hospital. You went there. You did the blood pressure. You did a blood pressure check. Now what happens is basically that blood pressure machine will trigger a message. The technician will enter your patient ID, your other information, whatever are needed into the machine, and that machine, when your blood pressure check is done, it will trigger a message. HL7 version to message to the doctor, like basically the doctor to the doctor. Let's say that message will be in between transformed to a human readable format, and then it will reach to the doctor. Basically, you do not have to carry any document or let's say anything, but you do not have to carry any numbers with you that this is my blood pressure and all. Please check it. The doctor will automatically get all the data which is recorded by the machine for your patient ID. This was just an example of blood pressure machine. Let's say you went for a sonography, you went for a temperature, check anything. That at that time, the HL7 version to message will be triggered to the doctor's channel. And between while reaching to the doctor's channel, we will have a system in place which will be responsible for converting the HL7v2 message to human readable format. And present it to the doctor and also save that information into your patient record. Getting my point? We will basically look at that and also we will recognize real world application and use case. While we are recognizing the real world application, we will also develop a system which will be responsible for converting the HL7 version to message. If I try to annotate this thing, let's say this is your hospital. This is let's see, this is doctor's channel. Doctor's channel. And here you are, here which is a patient. You went to a patient, to a doctor. He suggested you to do a blood pressure check. Let's say this is your blood pressure device. You went to a doctor. Doctor suggested you to do your blood pressure check. This blood pressure device will trigger HL7 V2 message. HL7 V2 message will be triggered before this HL7 version 2 message being reached to the doctor's channel. We will have a system in place. This is V. This is where our part comes in. We will transform this. Basically, this is the system we will put in. This system will be responsible for transforming this HL7 version to message to human readable format and also storing that data to the database. This is our database of patient database. This system will store all the information to the patient database. This system will convert this HL7 version to message into human readable format and send it to the doctor's channel. And then doctor can directly read the message. Because you know what, HL7 V2 messages message structure is totally different and a complex one. Doctor already done his studies and he read MBBS, MD, etc., etc. Now he do not have to worry about the technical terms. He should not be a part of all the technical understanding and all. We will be the responsible for creating a channel, that is, we will be responsible for creating a system that will do the job for him. Let's see if you are getting any HL7 the version to message or something. We will transform the HL7 version to message into human readable format. Or let's say a doctor is suggesting your blood pressure check. This blood pressure device is sending you HL7 version to message. But doctor's channel is capable of only accepting FHIR responses. That is the JSON responses. Basically, at that point also, our system will be responsible for converting this HL7 version to message to JSON. Getting my point? Any confusion or doubt in this? If the BP device gives the JSON form like V2 message and we ask to convert it to JSON to understand to doctor. Note, not only JSON, this was just an example. Let's say there are 3 doctors. Let's say there are 3 doctors, 1, 2 and 3. 1 accept human readable format, that is raw data. That is a text data, basically name, age, gender, etc. 1 doctor accept your JSON data into a JSON format. 1 doctor accept data into XML format. This system will be responsible for converting this single HL7 version to message into different data types for all of the channels. If one is accepting on your text data, it will send them the text data. If one is accepting JSON, it will send it JSON. If one is accepting XML, it will send them XML. Getting my point? Our objectives will be basically we will understanding the basics of HL7 version 2 messaging standards. Also, we will learn the structure of HL7 version 2 message. How HL7 V2 message is structured, what are field elementals, what are segments basically. We will explore the key segments and their significance. Also, we will gain hands on experience in building and interpreting HL7 V2 messages by this statement. What I mean is, we will be creating a script. We will be creating a Python script which will convert our HL7 V2 message into FHIR resource. Basically, we will map the message. We will map the data. We will be acting as an interoperability system here. And you know what interoperability is. That is the data exchange between two different systems. What we are doing here is we are getting data from HL7 V2. This is one of our system, HL7 V2 system, and we are converting that data to FHIR. This will be our objectives, and let's move to our next slide. What exactly is HL7 V2? The standard definition is HL7. V2 is a widely adopted standard for healthcare data exchange. HL7 V2 is also a part of HL7, and it is the first system which is developed by HL7. And the purpose of HL7 V2 is to facilitate interoperability between systems like EMRs, LES, HES, etc. As I said, how we can basically facilitate interoperability between systems. I will give you an example. Let me note it. Let's say this is an hospital here. And this is one of the other hospital here. Before the existence of HL7 V2, as I informed you earlier, this hospital was storing the data in the format of name age. But I and this hospital was storing the data into a format of full name and age. This name and full name. Let's make it first name and last name. First name and last name. These two sections are totally different. Like this will be a singular section and these two sections will be totally different ones. First name and last name and a full name. Although the meaning is same. This is the patient's name. But if we think about the system from the system's perspective, let's say there is a let's say you are your computer except full name. But you are giving him the data into two columns, that is first name and last name. Will it accept? It requires data into the format it is designed for. Before HL7 V2 was introduced, this was a major problem between a healthcare system. Basically, what happened is this problem was identified, and to fix this problem, HL7 was formed. This was a non-profit organization. And the first version, that is the HL7 V2 was found. V2 was introduced in which they solved. They tried to solve the major problem, which is the non-interoperability between systems. These two systems are currently non-interoperable. There is no data exchange possible between these systems because of the change in data types, data change in the structure of the data. But when HL7 V2 was introduced, it said that there will be a standard. HL7 V2 is there will be a standard for exchanging the data. Every system basically will store the data into the format of first name, last name, age. This is just an example. There are more fields, but for an example, when HL7 V2 was introduced, it said to the people that you will store the data into first name, last name and age. Now, after being compliant with HL7 V2, all of the hospitals rushed to make the system compliant with HL7 V2. This system was already having like the fields into first name, last name, age. The problem is with this system, which is carrying the data type as full name and age. To be compliant with HL7 V2, this system will transform itself and basically change its structure similar to the first name, last name and age. In this way, these two systems will be interoperable. There can be a seamless data exchange between the systems because all of the things are similar. Last name can fit into the last name section. First name can fit into the first name section and on. When HL7 V2 was developed, this was the purpose of HL7 V2 that it will facilitate interoperability between systems like AMR, LESS, GS, etc. Got any doubt with the explanation or something? It's clear. Great. Now let's move on to the history of HL7 V2. HL7 V2 is basically developed by Health Level 7. That is the self. HL7 is a non-profit organization which was developed in the late 1980s. And the adoption rate of HL7 V2, as we discussed, it was used in over 95% of US healthcare organizations. Getting my point? Yes, Prashant? Basically, there is a story of how HL7 is developed. Some people say when HL7 was getting developed, there were 7 people, like 7 organizations or something, which came together and developed HL7. There is one more theory, basically not proven, but there is one more theory that HL7 was. HL7 is basically health level. The name of HL7 is formed because it deals with the presentation layer. What is presentation layer? The 7th layer. You are saying, yes, the 7th layer of OSI model, yes. It deals with the 7th layer, that is the presentation layer. That is why it is named HL7. But it's not proven. But you should know about this one. Why is it named HL7 and not something other or? The presentation, not the presentation layer. It deals with the application layer. The 7th layer is the application level application layer. Sorry, the most user-facing layer which includes protocol design for end users. Sorry. I also got confused and later I realized that why that presentation, it should be application. A good. Listen to. Why are we learning HL7 V2? First of all, you might be thinking why like HL7 FHIR is introduced. Why are we even using HL7 V2 now? Because HL7 V2, as I said, when it was introduced, it was almost covered. It has almost covered 95% of the market. Because of its simplicity and widespread adoption, we are using HL7 V2. We are even learning HL7 V2 because of that. HL7 V2 is customizable to different healthcare needs. Let's say you are running and laboratory, you can customize HL7 V2 messages to your laboratory needs. Let's say one person is running sonography that he can customize the HL7 version to message according to his needs, according to his machine. Let's say third person is using a blood pressure machine. He can customize the H7 version 2 message according to the machine needs. This is how customizable HL7 v2 was. Also, HL72 message support. Message supports various workflows, that is admission, discharge, order, result, etc. For everything for each and everything you do in a hospital. There is a HL7v2 message for. Let's say you are getting admitted into hospital. There is a HL7v2 message which will be triggered for your admission. Let's see if you are getting in our system. Currently, HL7 FHIR is recently introduced in India. HL7v2 is not known to people now, I guess. But outside of India, people take healthcare seriously. They do not compromise with the patient's data. That is why India is far behind of this modern technologies. I think more than century. They are far behind, man. I'm not sure the development is very slow in India. That's fine. Because of that, we are getting less developers and demand is more. HL7v2 message, as I said, supports various workflows basically. Let's say if you are getting admitted into a hospital, HL7v2 message for admission will be triggered. Let's see you are getting a discharge. HL7v2 message for discharge will be triggered. Let's see if you are even getting transferred to a different hospital. Even that transfer message will be triggered. Similarly, there are orders message, there are results message. There's different types of messages for different actions. Getting my point? One more thing is that HL7v2 messages is lightweight as compared to other standards like HL7v3 or FHIR. Why I'm saying this? Because HL7v2 message directly deals with the message structure. And to implement FHIR, basically you will need a like REST API. I overview also some tools to work with REST APIs and all, but to work with HL7v2, you do not need to install all of these tools and tools, etc. This is in comparison to FHIR. HL7v2 is a much lighter version. You might be considering that it is lightweight. Why are we not using HL7v2? Why are we using FHIR? The answer to 2 is basically the data is emerging day by day. More and more new diseases, more and more new vaccines, etc. are found day by day. As data is emerging, there's always a new need for enhanced and advanced version. FHIR is the one which provides security. HL7v2 messages do not have security to its data. But in FHIR, we have our two-pointer protocol, which is dealing with the security aspect of medical data. That is the main reason, the security aspect, and also FHIR is more human readable thing. Oh, I have seen in our portal also, object. I think they are following this protocol. Sorry, go ahead, what you were saying. While working in our portal, I have checked the URL. They are using this protocol. I think O2. OAuth 2 is the most secure protocol now. Authentication for an authorization. Basically, OAuth2.2TO is the most secure protocol for authorization and authentication now available in the market. It deals with tokens. Every time you perform an action, a token will be generated according to your authentication and authorization. Let's say if you are an admin, you will have some other privileges from the rest of the user, or let's say you are a normal user. You will have other privileges which are in place for normal user. OAuth2 deals with the tokens thing. Maybe give it a read for OAuth 2.0. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.